Hey guys, it's Sam here and welcome back to another video, and today I wanted to talk about Brendan Rodgers and Leicester City after yesterday's shocking FA Cup tie against Nottingham Forest. They lost 4-1 and after the game and during the game there were quite a few fans, Leicester fans, over Twitter that, considering I like football and I follow football stuff, sometimes fan Twitter accounts get recommended. So because I was liking stuff as well regarding the game, Leicester Twitter accounts, Leicester fans were on my timeline, and the only ones that were there were the ones calling for Brendan Rodgers' head, basically, demanding he get sacked. And I wanted to talk about it because this is Leicester City. You won your first ever FA Cup, the first one of your entire history last season, and you won the Premier League in 2016, which was the first time you'd done that. What do those both managers have in common? The following season, they're getting hounded out, basically. Success has got to Leicester fans. Some of them, not all of them, I'm sure there are quite a few that realise where they are. But these big-headed fans need to be put in their place. You need to remember who you are. You're Leicester City. You're not Man United. Don't expect challenging for top 4 every season and challenging for trophies every season, because that's not you. You have overachieved for the last few years, and now, because you've overachieved, you think you're sick. You think you deserve to be up there. You think you should be up there. Let's have a reality check. Yeah? The best Leicester City are a mid to top table Premier League team. Yeah, about 13th to maybe challenging for the Europa Conference League, maybe challenging a couple of times for a Europa League spot. So around 13th to 7th is Leicester City. Not anywhere above. You finished above, you're overachieving. You won the FA Cup, that's overachieving. You're not expected to do that. All of a sudden you've done that, now you think you're expected to do it. Doesn't work like that. And, I kind of feel for Brendan Rodgers, because he has it rough, because, as a Liverpool fan, I wasn't impressed when we got him. 2013, I was like, he's got Swansea out of the Championship. All of a sudden that equally means he's good for Liverpool Football Club. Especially when we've gone from having Roy Hodgson, whose biggest achievement was getting Fulham to a Europa League final. Well done, but ultimately you failed because you didn't win it. If you get to a final, your objective is to win it. It doesn't matter how, if you're not expected, if you're expected, if you get to a final, you're expected to win it. You go there to win it. Fulham didn't win it, they lost, so ultimately they failed in that respect, and that meant he was good enough for Liverpool. Ultimately he was sacked 6 months later, whatever it was, because quite clearly he wasn't good enough. Then you go from getting Kenny Dalglish to winning the League Cup, getting us to an FA Cup final, but because our Premier League results and we finished like 7th apparently wasn't good enough, he was sacked wrongly but we got Brendan Rodgers. And I was like, why? Clearly, like, we're not going in a good direction. Started off poor. Season after was that great season where we nearly won the title. Season after, poor. We lose 6-1 to Stoke. On the final day, he should have been sacked. He wasn't. He stayed for a few more months and then was sacked. And then we got Jurgen Klopp, and now everything is great. And, the rest is history. He went on to Celtic, won some stuff there, built his CV back up, got the Leicester job, and has overachieved with Leicester massively. Now, people will say Brendan Rodgers is not a good manager because they failed to qualify for the Champions League. Is that the manager or is that the players? Same thing happened yesterday. Is it the manager or is it the players? There is no manager in the world that could have helped that defence. Not even Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola, Carlo Ancelotti, none of them. Your defending yesterday was awful. It was criminal. You had Sayuncu, who's more than a very good centre-back. You had Luke Thomas and James Justin as your full-backs who, they're young, but there's some decent experience and they're good players in there. And then you had Imati, who is also pretty experienced. So you had a more than decent backline. You had Yuri Tillemans in there, you had James Maddison, Harvey Barnes, Iheanacho, Lookman. You had Danny Ward, who is, I believe, Wales is number 1 now. What happened? Brendan Rodgers put out a more than strong enough side to deal with a championship opposition. Your defence was awful. There's nothing Brendan Rodgers can do about your defenders making schoolboy errors. The second one, you've just conceded, and then you concede straight from kickoff. How? There is no manager is gonna ever be able. That's not a manager's fault. That's the player's fault. Because you're the one that conceded. The manager's gone. I'm sure Brendan Rodgers hasn't gone, do you know what? Give up. Just let them score again. I'm sure he's gone. Fucking fix up. You've conceded a quite sloppy goal, to be honest. You've appealed for a free kick. It's not a free kick at all. The striker has done very well to climb above the defender. The defender's too weak. He's trying to play for the free kick, but he's not getting it because you're weak. You've got to battle. If it was an actual foul, you would have got it. It wasn't a foul, just headed across. Zinchenko's come in. Literally all he has to do is knee it. He don't even hit it, he's just kneed it and it's got it. You're like, right. That's where you focus. The minute you concede, you focus. All focus has gone, bang, it's 2 in the space of a minute. All of a sudden, it's 3. The only reason you scored was because Bryce Samba comes out of the fucking goal for no reason. He doesn't have to come out. He's literally gifted you a route back into it. Even when you scored, you didn't even really look like getting back into the game. You were awful. You have to accept the fact you were awful and don't pin it on the manager. Because there's nothing Brendan Rodgers can do about that performance. You could say he's lost the dressing room. Well then, there's a few players in that team that were part of the Premier League winning team. The season after, Claudio Ranieri apparently lost the dressing room. So you have to think of the culture of this club. When they win something, it goes to the head. If they start playing badly or they start playing where they're actually at, the players think that, this is where we should be and we're now underachieving so we can get the manager out. That's not how this works. You are now playing at the level that you are actually at. You overachieved last season, and you overachieved when you won the Premier League. You have recently, in between those, have overachieved under Rodgers, but before Rodgers were, I wouldn't say playing where you're at, you were slightly underachieving because you were more closer to the relegation zone, but you weren't that far off where you actually are. 13th to 7th is where you are. Any higher, you've underachieved. Any lower, if you're over, you've overachieved. If you're under, you're underachieved. 13th to 7th is where I'd say Leicester are. They're a club that should be there. But some of those fans think they should be up. I don't agree with it. And for me, you would see that if Rodgers if you sack Brendan Rodgers, I think it would be very harsh. I also think, is there going to be a top manager that's going to take that job? Can you get better than Brendan Rodgers? My personal opinion, I don't think so, because I don't think you're that good. I really don't. I'm saying this on Monday, and we play Leicester on Thursday. So I'm saying this before it, but even if you beat, so what? You beat us before, we have that in us. Just because you beat someone doesn't mean you're good. Being good means having consistent results. You've been consistently poor this season, with a few results here and there, but it's almost like, what's the point? What is the point? If you're a Leicester fan and you're one of these people that think that you're it now because you've won an FA Cup, then I'm sorry, but I'm going to bring you back to earth and tell you you're not that good. You're not where you think you are. You've overachieved, and that's where you are. We, as a Liverpool fan, I know that 2013-14 season when we nearly won the league, we overachieved massively. Because that team, we had Suarez, who was a baller, Sturridge, Gerrard. We had Coutinho, we had players in it that was good, but as a squad, the squad was nowhere near Premier League level. It was a Champions League level, yes, challenging for a Champions League spot, but not the Premier League. When we've won the Premier League, that was a Premier League winning team, because every player in it is very, very good. Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk, Robertson, Gomez, Matip. I don't want to say Lovren, because without Van Dijk, Lovren's shit. With Van Dijk made Lovren look incredible, which just shows how good Van Dijk is. You had Fabinho, you had Henderson, you had Wijnaldum, Milner, who was very experienced, Oxlade-Chamberlain, who was very, very good on his day. But Salah, Mane, Firmino, it was just incredible. It was the perfect blend, and that is a championship winning team. That's a premiership winning team. Leicester should not have won the FA Cup. If you put the squads next to each other, the Chelsea and Leicester team, you would have bet a lot of money on Chelsea, especially considering how Thomas Tuchel had changed them from Frank Lampard to his. They were the same players, but his philosophy worked, whereas Frank Lampard's didn't. Chelsea moved up, and yeah, it was incredible. It was something that is incredible and it was something that I feel like, you know, I enjoyed it because I don't like Chelsea. And, you know, I enjoyed Leicester winning. I enjoyed Leicester winning the Premier League. But that doesn't mean that you should be all the way up here. Look at Blackburn. Blackburn won a Premier League title. Where are Blackburn? It's taken them very long to... No, they've had stints in the Premier League since they won it, but nowhere near that Premier League title. The Blackburn fans think they should be winning Premier Leagues? No. They're realistic. That was a 1 in a million. We had the perfect blend. Everything went right. Everything was perfect. That's why we won it. But that doesn't happen all the time. It doesn't happen to a club of our size all the time. Blackburn became realistic and was like, yeah, where we are is mid-table. They got relegated. You know, it's taken them a bit of time to work their way back up. They're looking strong again, looking in a good position to get promoted. They're realists. Bloody, if Leicester got relegated, fuck me, there'd be riots. There'd be people going, how the fuck are we in the Championship? We're Premier League champions, we're FA Cup champions. What the fuck? I thought we were winning everything. Bollocks to you. Okay, I'm sorry if you don't like it. It's my opinion. My opinion is, you're not as big as you think you are, and you shouldn't be challenging for top 4 every year. You shouldn't be challenging for trophies every year, and you should stick with Brendan Rodgers, because he is the reason that you won the FA Cup for the very first time. People go, it wasn't him, it was... I don't know, it was Iheanacho, it was the players that won it. If that was the case, then... no, actually, scrap that. That's not particularly true. Yes, the players did the job on the pitch, but guess who picks the players? The manager. Guess who provides confidence for the player? The manager. The players don't perform well unless the manager believes in them. If the manager's gone, you're shit, well, the player isn't going to perform well. But if the manager's gone, I believe in you, the player is going to get confidence and he's going to perform well. Possibly. Not all the time, because some players' confidence, you know, they need it. They need to bring it within themselves. But a lot of it comes from the manager. Now, personally, Brendan Rodgers is not a bad manager. He is a good manager at a club like Leicester, because the expectations are not that high. For some reason, they've gone high. It's like, overachieving does not mean that is where you are. It means you've overachieved. It means when you come back to your level, that is where you are, because that's your level. Like, you know, I get it. It wasn't easy watching a rival of yours smash you and make a mockery of you when you're in the higher division. It's not good to see a rival smash you anyway. As a Liverpool fan, I've seen it countless times, especially against Man United. Man United is just dark. It is just dark. There is a few good memories, obviously, this season. the 4-1 at Old Trafford, the 3-1 at Anfield. A couple of seasons ago, Xherdan Shaqiri scored twice off the bench. Yeah, I get it, but that doesn't mean you call for the manager, because you should be calling at the players, because it was the players' fault. The players didn't play well, they didn't turn up, and ultimately, if they're trying to get the manager sacked, then it's a disgrace, because he is the reason that you won the FA Cup. He's the reason you've been able to play European football for the last couple of years. Like, I don't see it. I think the Leicester owner is also realistic and realises that they've overachieved and that FA Cup champions isn't where they're going to be every year. Champions League football isn't every year. You know, the last 2 times they did slip off. You had a chance of getting Champions League, they slipped off. That's not necessarily the manager, that's probably the players. In my opinion, I think that's the players. The manager has done his job, basically. He's picked the right players, he's put them in a position, in a system that works quite clearly. It's just sometimes results go against you, and sometimes clubs below you pick up results as well. It happens. Leicester aren't going to get relegated. Leicester are probably going to finish in around the 10th to 7th mark, which is where they should be finishing, which would be on target. For anyone that thinks that is below target, you are unrealistic of what your club should actually be at, or is actually at. Not these last few years where you have overachieved massively. It's my opinion, I'm allowed it, you're allowed yours. As a Leicester fan, you probably know it more, but I'm just saying, we know exactly how it is having Rodgers as a manager, because we've had him, and our experiences were a lot less than what you've had. At least he won a trophy with you, he won nothing with us. Like, we got to an FA Cup semi-final against Villa and he lost it. Like, that's our memory of Brendan Rodgers. Our memory is 6-1 losses to Stoke. Awful times. You should be lucky to have Brendan Rodgers. You should be privileged to have won the FA Cup. You should be practically begging Brendan Rodgers to stay, not call for his head, because he's won an FA Cup. That's got status. You know, all I'm saying is be careful what you wish for, because if you hound out a manager that's won you stuff, sometimes it can go right, sometimes you get a better manager, sometimes they elevate you to a new level and you go, see, it worked. But just look at Arsenal. They hounded out their best ever manager for years and years. When he finally left, they thought it would be great. They were like, if this manager goes, we will be okay. We will get better. They got worse. Under Arsene Wenger, they never once looked as shit as they've done since he left. And that is saying something, because towards the end of Wenger's reign, it did look bad. But you were like, it's Arsene Wenger. If anyone can turn it around, it is him. They hounded an old man out of a club that he gave you the best years of your life. And now, look where you are. It's taken them a long time. To be honest, Arsenal have got very lucky to be within a touching distance of the Champions League this season. Because they haven't been good at all, they have been shit, they've just got very lucky. And, you know, that's my opinion, that's what I say. And now, it could happen to Leicester. All I'm saying is a man won you the FA Cup. He deserves a lot more respect than what he's getting from some of the fan base at Leicester. That's what I'm saying. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. And also, let me know what you think. You know, if you agree, if you don't agree, and if you enjoyed it, share it with your friends, family, whatever. Do whatever you want. Up to you. If you didn't like it, that's fine. You don't have to subscribe. You can leave, dislike it, tell me I'm a prick, tell me I'm an ugly mug, tell me that my voice is so annoying that you want to drown in a bath, whatever. But peace.
Yeah. MD, JPB, it's only right, baby. Yeah, why you mad? I got a bag, bro. Name hot in these streets, no Tabasco. But I'm so stuck, that's a fact, yo. And if you think I'm frontin', you can run it back, yo. Go on, run it back. You know that I run it. Everything you wanna do, I already done it. And I got your little boo telling me she love me. I got this one, that one. Damn, it's gonna be a long night. Yeah.